Right, hi guys, and welcome back to the Mini Auction, and welcome back to yet another one of these Bburago model reviews. This is focusing on the Red Bull 6-car set that you can pick up from the manufacturer. And it starts off with Sebastian Vettel's 2013 RB9, Daniel Ricciardo's 2016 RB12, then we've got the 2021 Turkish Grand Prix example, the RB16 is that. And then we've got 3 of the RB19s in their various liveries. So we've got the Standard Race Edition, we've got a Miami Grand Prix, and we've got, of course, the 2023 Las Vegas livery as well. So apologies for the reflection, of course, from the Perspex box, but we'll get it out in a moment. So yeah, this is how it comes, and I got this for a really bargain price, actually, of just £38.55, including postage and packaging from eBay. And I thought this would be a great example and a great way to review multiple Bburago models from over the years and see how well they've done the special liveries, etc. So yeah, the box itself looks quite a nice presentation box. Come with a little bit of damage, you know, slightly indented there as you can see on the top, but are we really bothered for a price point of £38 that I paid? It's nice that you can see the drivers on the back wall as well, to give you an idea of who's driving what car, which is really nice. But yeah, I thought this would be quite a nice little video to do. So yeah, we'll get them out of the box and we'll have a look at them in a bit more detail. So now we're at the back of the box. I just thought I'd quickly show you as I've taken them out. You can see there that it's got a little bit of a write-up about each car. Perez finished 3rd place. Max Verstappen in the Turkey livery. Of course, they finished 3rd in the Drivers' Championship for Daniel Ricciardo that year. You've got Max Verstappen, who won with that livery. Sergio Perez, who won the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix with the standard model, of course. And Sebastian Vettel, who took his 4th Drivers' Championship in the RB9, of course, in 2013. So that's just a nice little write-up on the back. Makes the box a bit more interesting. On the side, it just says Formula Racing. Underneath, just the usual instructions, not suitable for people under 3 years old, etc. This side is very much the same, and of course the box is just the box. So yeah, that is the box. Let's take a look at the models, which is the main bulk of what we want to see. So of course Bburago have been doing models for quite a number of years, particularly Ferrari. They started doing from around 2010. So yeah, the quality of them, you can really tell in this how much they've improved over the years. We start with 2013, look, which is, well, no other word can describe it. It's a toy, isn't it? You know, there's no official Pirelli stamps on the tyres. The detailing is incredibly crude. It looks out of proportion. The front wing looks massive. It looks all chunky and plastic. It just doesn't look very nice at all. It's a toy, isn't it? It is a toy. Whereas some of the later models that we'll see down the line could actually represent a true collector's item over the years, you know. So, yeah, ultimately, this is the start of where, you know, Bburago was in their Formula 1 manufacturing model career. And, yeah, it's not a bad effort, but it's certainly nothing to write home about, is it? It looks incredibly crude. The detail is, well, incredibly limited, I would say. There's nothing there that makes it look like the Red Bull, apart from the colour of it. And even then, it doesn't truly represent the colours of that year. You know, there was a lot more purple on the side pods. You can sort of see a little bit with the Infinity logo there, but nothing too special or spectacular. Then we come to 2016, so they've had a couple of years at it now, and it looks better. A little bit more detailing on the front wings, of course. You can see it does look better, but again, nothing perfect, is it? It's still not a fantastic model, but it would represent, that would look nice on a shelf as a display piece. That would not. That just looks like a toy. But that one would actually, you know, pass off as an actual model. So yeah, getting better I would say. Of course the display on the back is really nice, and it's lined up like they're on the grid as well, which I thought was really effective. And I think that's just a nice touch, a little bit of attention to detail on the back row there, getting all the drivers in, and I thought it was just really nice. So I do appreciate the effort that they've gone to in making these sets. I think the retail price of these is £70, which for 6 models, it's not bad. But when I've managed to pick it up for £38 and so many pence, Yeah, I think this is a respectable effort by them. The Turkey Grand Prix one, again, just looks really weird and out of proportion. It looks like it's had an accident almost, doesn't it? The top end, particularly on the front there, looks like it's really high up, and then this back end looks like it's really low down, and the proportions of it just look wrong. The Daniel Ricciardo model looks like it's in proportion, even in some aspects. That looks like it's in proportion. It's certainly level, but that looks, well, the front wing just doesn't look right at all, does it? The casting of it just looks really off, which is a letdown because I love the Turkey Grand Prix model and, of course, the livery itself. But, yeah, I don't know if it's just a sticker that's out of place or something that makes it look like that. You know, the 33 on the back is wonky. The Oracle on the side there, next to above the barge board, is wonky. Does that exaggerate the fact that it looks like it's sticking up at the front and it's quite low down at the back? I mean, we know the Red Bull is known for having rake, but rake normally means it's the other direction. It's normally heavy on the front end and quite high up on the rear, but it's like they've got it the wrong way around on this model. So, yeah, not overly impressed by that one, and that's a shame, because naturally I love this car. I think it was a really nice livery that they had. Of course, it should have been represented at Japan, but because of COVID, it ended up being represented at the Turkish Grand Prix. So yeah, a nice model, but maybe not the best. And then we come to the three models that are all pretty much the same, apart from, of course, just the design of the liveries, the special liveries, of course. So this is Sergio Perez's 2023 car, which won the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And again, nice model, nice detail. The bi-bit again on the front wing seems to suffer with every Red Bull model, that the T on the left-hand side there, as you look at it, is lower down than the rest of it. But, you know, look at the step up in detail and accuracy of a model. It is interesting to note, though, these are on a Perspex plinth. They are on, like, the base that you would get if you had the Perspex lid over them. And those normally come with the driver helmets, but these do not. So it's almost like it's the cheaper model, but on a more expensive base. But yeah, overall, they look a lot better, don't they? They do look nice. Yeah, there's not really much to add to that. It's just a solid model, and certainly a step up from what they had, well, 10 years ago with that. And then we go down the line a bit further, and we've got the Miami Grand Prix, which Max Verstappen won. So it's sporting, of course, the number 1 livery, the number 1 number. And it says it's Miami Grand Prix. Again, the T on the bi-bit is wrong, which is just a real basic thing, but it seems like it's an error on all of them. So that's a huge shame. The detailing on the halo is really nice. You know, you've got all the sponsors on there, and they're able to be read nicely. The model is a really good model, and like I say, it's a step up from them. It's a shame that they've not got some of the newer models in here. If they just made a new set, you know, like just have the 23 cars and the 24 cars in it, because, you know, the first 2 models sort of let the side down a little bit, I would say, for this set overall. But yeah, nice detailing. Now we come to my favourite, and I think they've absolutely nailed this livery, which is the Las Vegas livery of 2023. Now, I wasn't particularly bothered by it, to be honest, when it first came out as in the actual race. But that is superb. They've got the different wheel cover colours as well. The purple really stands out. That's the kind of purple that should have been on the side pod there for the Infinity. Again, the T on the bi-bit is wrong, but that seems to be every single Red Bull model. Number 11, of course, because it's Checo. But yeah, overall, it's just a really, really nice model. I think they've nailed this, to be honest. This is the one that I would say makes this set worth it. I'm not saying the others aren't worth it, but, you know, if you had to have one standout model, it would have to be this. It is absolutely stunning. So, I mean, that's the quick overview of them all. I'm going to try and get them out now and try and see if we can do a bit more detail, take them off the plinth, etc. But, yeah, let's try and delve in a little bit further, a little bit more detail, try and look underneath them and things like that. But, yeah, honestly, for the money at the moment, I think it's a really good set. A couple of them let the side down, but I think you've got 4 solid cars there. and for £38 that I paid, it's well worth the money. So just looking at trying to undo these to get the actual models out, and it's like spaghetti junction. They are really, really well stuck in there, and that's nice to see. It proves that they're going to be nice and secure during shipping. You don't have to worry about them coming loose or coming undone. I'm not entirely sure how we're going to get these out, to be honest, but we're going to try and give it a go if we can. But I don't want to try and damage the case or anything, because my idea of this is to put it back to original, get it back all in its box and everything, and then move it on so I can purchase another one and review another set. So I don't really want to be doing any damage if I can afford to, but we'll try and give it a go anyway. So unfortunately I wasn't able to do this on camera, but you unplug, oh there you go, look, you see they're coming out now. But you unplug these sides, and then there is this little connector here which holds this base in, and that sits in there. So you squeeze that together, that unlocks, and then you're able to drop and lower the sets from below. So yeah, here we go then. It was nice and easy, that actually. I thought I was going to have to rip the box apart, but no, it's nice and done. So you're able to get them out, play with them, do whatever you want with them, and put them back in the box, which I do quite like. So there we have it, all models out of their presentation boxes. They were all screw-in, so you need a little screwdriver, Phillips, to get it undone. And the plinths, of course, are there. But let's take a look at the models. I'm not going to show you all of the 2023 ones, of course, because, I mean, they're pretty much the same model, but just different liveries, of course. But there's the 2013 one. As you can see, just looks really not great quality, is it? There's no real quality to the floor underneath at all. It is just very much basic. It's a toy, you know, nothing else really to go about, nothing to write home about. But don't get me wrong, you know, it rolls well, so it can be used nicely as a toy. But yeah, it's not a bad model, is it? It's not bad, but it's not great either. It is a toy. It is a toy. You wouldn't want it on your shelf if you're an adult collector, that's for sure. It doesn't look like something that, you know, would represent adult model collecting. It is just a toy and a bit of a gimmick, and this is the one that really does let the side down for me, to be honest, which is a shame. I'd have much preferred a 5-car set and them not include this one, I would say, because this is the one that lets it down the most. So that's the 2013 one. The 2016 one for me is the biggest surprise in terms of quality. I wasn't expecting this to look as good. You know, you see the 2013 one, it doesn't look great, but this one isn't bad. It's a nice representation. The colour looks accurate for the era, you know, the matte finish that they had. The front wing is a lot more detailed. It just looks nice in proportion. Okay, the wheels could have done with a little bit more detail. It's like they've not even got holes in them. It's just like they're cast plastic. Just like, yeah, there's no like finish to the wheels properly, which is a letdown. You've got the Pirelli logo on there, which is nice. You didn't have that before. There's a little bit more detail to the flooring of the model, but again, nothing overly excessive. But you got the front wing slats on there as well underneath. So yeah, overall, not a bad one. That's the one that surprised me, because I didn't think this would be up to much, but this is one that's probably better than the next one I'm going to show you. So yeah, I think that's a nice little model, that. And yeah, okay, the wheels sort of let it down a little bit, but yeah, that on a display shelf would not look out of place at all. I think it's a nice model. It's quite accurately depicted in terms of the colour, and yeah, it's lacking, of course, detail, but it's not bad. Not bad, that one. Passable. The 2021 model then is up next, and as I say, the proportions of it just look wrong. They don't look as bad now that it's out of its presentation box. Maybe that was making it sit a little bit higher and lower than what it should have been. But it's still not brilliant. Again, you've got the wheels that aren't like, I mean, you can see through them now a little bit. You can see my finger through the rims, so they've like actually cast those now and got a proper mould for them. The front wing looks quite nice. It does look a good model, to be fair, but I just think there's something weird about it. It just doesn't look quite right. I think that Oracle logo should be sat higher up and look more flush and more straight, and I think that just throws the whole of the front of it out and makes it look like it's sat higher than it is on the front. That's my personal opinion on that. What's it look like on this side? Yeah, it's not as bad, is it? So yeah, maybe it's a logo transfer that doesn't look quite as good. But, you know, it's still a nice model. Again, it's quite detailed underneath, but again, not as much as what you'd obviously expect others to be. It's got the holes there, of course, which I'm not quite sure why they're there, to be honest. I didn't think they'd have holes like that. But there you go. It's got holes. Maybe to represent the downforce, of course, but I wouldn't normally be sticking holes in a floor like that, because mind you, it's got turning vanes and things, so yeah, maybe that's more accurate, but maybe it's like slightly depicted in the wrong place for, I don't know, dramatic effect, who knows. But yeah, overall a nice model. I think it could have been executed a little bit better, but yeah, it's not bad in the end. And then for the 2023 ones, let's just show you my favourite, because there's no point showing you these. It's the same model, it's just a different logo livery on it, of course. But my favourite is, of course, the Las Vegas livery. And look at that, it just pops. It really does just pop. I mean, apart from the T on the front nose, which just annoys me so much. Why is that T lower on all the Red Bulls? It's frustrating, that. But yeah, apart from that, it's just lovely. It really is nice. It just looks so well done. I mean, it's quite light, you know. There's not much weight to these models, and at the end of the day, you know, they are the lower end of the model collecting range, as I've discussed in other videos as well, comparing these to Mini Champs and Spark. But this, for the money, yeah, is great value for money. I think you pick these up for about £20 in a proper Perspex case with the driver helmet, and of course that's the side that lets it down a bit as well. It's sort of like a premium set, and there's no helmets in any of these models. It might be because they couldn't get the licensing for the first 3 models that you see, and now they've got licensing for the helmets, so they didn't want to do half with helmets, half without. It might be something to do with the licensing, but yeah, it's a shame that these ones don't have the helmets in, because it would just finish them off that little bit better and, you know, make them more accurate. But that is lovely. I cannot fault a thing with that. I think that's really, really nice, and I would rival that alongside a Mini Champs one or a Spark one any day, because the colour really pops and it just looks really nice. Again, of course, the detail isn't going to be there as much as the Mini Champs and Spark models are in terms of the floor and things, but you can't expect it to be for this price point. Like I said, just annoying that T sits a little bit lower than it should on the front nose. That's frustrating, but apart from that, it is a lovely, lovely model. So there we have it then, back in their plinth they are. It took me approximately 5 minutes to do. It wasn't a long job at all. Obviously, the longest bit was screwing all of them back onto the plinth again. And then on the back here, it was a little bit fiddly to get that tab back into there when you're trying to push this on over it. But, you know, you just have to get your fingers in underneath and do it. It's nice that the models obviously are sat and they're in the base, so they won't fall out upwards, of course. So you can tip it upside down and they're not going to go anywhere, to be able to secure that back in place. And then just squeeze these little square cardboard white pieces on, and there's a little bit of an extra additional support there. So yeah, overall really impressed with that. Nice little way of setting it up, packing it up, and getting them off and on and off the plinths. Like I say, 5-minute job really, not too difficult at all. So yeah, round up for me personally. I think it's a shame that this model's been included, and I don't mean any disrespect to Bburago with that, but of course this is from a long time ago, and they were literally just making toys, and now they've tried to present it in a presentation where it's supposed to be like a set, a luxury set, I would say, at £70 retail. That does let it down, I must admit. But again, for the price point, it's £70 retail, and you're getting 6 models. You're getting a display case like this. You're getting the driver information on the back. You've got a, you know, pretty much set up like a grid. They're in year order. I think they've got a lot of attention to detail, and there's a lot there for your money. Me paying £38.55, go out and buy one. If you see one for that kind of price, I'd pay about £50 would be my limit with this, I would say. And I think that's a very fair price for that. And for that £50, you could get rid of that one, pop it in the bin, and you've got 5 nice models there. Like I say, I'm not overly keen on the 2021 one personally, but it's not a bad model. You know, it's not bad. I just don't think its proportions are quite right. But the 2016 one's lovely, and of course we know the 2023 cars are obviously a big step up from Bburago these last couple of years in general anyway. So yeah, overall, really happy with the set, really impressed. Like I say, if you see one for upwards to around the £50 limit, I would say you're getting a good deal. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Let me know down in the comment section which was your favourite model of these 6. Would you go out and buy one based on this review? Do you think they could have included a different car, you know, maybe a 2022 or a 2024 one in instead of 3 23 ones? Do you think they could have maybe mixed up the drivers a little bit, have Daniel Kvyat in instead of Ricciardo? Just let me know what your thoughts are on this set overall. But for me personally, I give it a solid 8 out of 10 for the value for money that I paid. If I was paying 70, I'd probably give it a 5 out of 10, to be honest with you, simply for the fact that those two just aren't quite right. And I know it's budget, and I know it's, you know, a very cheap price point to start with for 70, but when I'm someone that's obviously looking for Formula 1 models at a budget price, these two for me personally would have just let me down a little bit. So I'd have felt I'd paid £70 for 4, then it doesn't seem like quite a good deal. But that's just my personal opinion anyway. But yeah, solid 8 out of 10 for the price I paid for them. 5 out of 10 if you pay retail, but anything up to around £50 I would say is a fantastic price for them. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you found this review helpful, and happy collecting. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and as always, much love.